Hey guys, Scott here from the CFLPA Career Academy. How are you? How are you on this week before the Canada Long Day weekend and all the big games coming up? Want a big reach out to everyone who's been in touch over the last 2 or 3 weeks because there have been a lot of you. And that's what actually gave the idea for this webcast. This webcast is all about why companies want to hire CFL players, why companies want to hire you. Between Jason and I over the last few weeks, the number of calls that we've had about players saying, you know what, I haven't had my resume updated for years. I haven't had a job. Why would anybody want to hire me? And so we wanted to put this webcast together so that you have in your back pocket, you have this recording when you are feeling like, where's the self-confidence to go out and get these positions? Why companies want to hire you. And this is not Jason and I speaking. This is people like TD Bank who are offering 16 internships later on this year to CFL players. This is companies like PepsiCo, Frito-Lay who want a pipeline into hiring players because they know of all the great qualities they bring. This is like the RCMP who, by the way, in July we're doing a webcast. So if you're interested in law enforcement, RCMP are very interested in talking to you because they know that CFL players have a lot of the qualities that they're looking for you. So in your back pocket, this is real short and sweet, why companies want to hire you. And number one is that you are a self-starter. You take initiative. You're on the field when you're working out. There's nobody watching over you doing this. If you don't go to the gym in April and get yourself in shape for May and June's training camps, none of that happens. If you don't get the playbook down and are able to execute, none of the good things happen. They want people who actually can take initiative and to have that edge to go and do things without being told to. Too many university graduates right now come out of school, they're so used to being told what to do, they never take their own initiative. So number one, you are a self-starter. Number two, that competitive will to win. Actually, you know what? That was the opening door for TD Bank when we were talking to them last November. They said they had the next CFL player who was in their Calgary office, and he said, man, they're so different players. They just want to win. And that's what companies are looking for. They don't give up. Players like you do not give up early. You hang in there and you want to win the game, whether that's in sales, whether that's in customer service, doing a job, right to the top level of your game. You want to win. And employers love that. They get a lot of people who are coming in and you go, yeah, I'll try it out for a little bit. But they don't really put pedal to the metal and give everything they've got. So number two that employers really want from players like you is a competitive will to win. Number three, hardworking. You're not afraid of hard work. You know what it's like to get up at the gym. You know what it's like to study playbooks late at the night. You don't do the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 routine, evenings and weekends. You do what it takes to succeed. And there aren't an awful lot of folks, particularly, because I'm involved in the HR world, when they're hiring younger people, the millennials, and I know not all millennials are like that. Hard work is something that a lot of employers are saying that these folks don't get. They're more into lifestyle. They'll come into work if they want to. When they see somebody like a CFL player who shows up to work, whether they're broken, hurt, or injured, and still put in all that effort, you guys are like gold for them in a market, by the way, a labor market that is very tight right now. In other words, there are more jobs than there are applicants. This is a great time to be looking out there. And since you've got that work ethic beside you, you've got something that a lot of people don't. Number three that they're looking for is the leadership quotient and being able to lead, whether it's in the locker room or whether it's on the field. And a lot of players, when they come up, they go, you know what, I haven't got an awful lot of what a company would like. And the first thing we often point to is leadership. I said, have you ever had to motivate people on the field to take on a new formation, a new position, try something new against a different team? And they say, yeah, of course. I say, have you ever spoken in public on behalf of your team to a community cause, youth leadership? They go, yeah, I've done that. You've got more leadership than most people coming out of university and colleges. That's something that they want. This is practical stuff where you can actually get people to rally around a specific purpose. So again, the leadership piece, that should be front and center on your resume as you are creating it. Number four, or I think we're at four, might even be at five now, is you are coachable. You know how to take direction. Even when it's direction you don't necessarily believe in, you know that for the betterment of the team, you're going to be coachable and follow what the coach says. A lot of folks, again, who have come out from the university ranks or are new to the workforce, they've had their own way all the way along. They've been coddled, told that they are great. They have not had to take direction and work as a team. So coachability, absolutely huge. Is a number one trait, by the way, in 2018, the most desirable trait for hiring a new person is someone who can work in a team environment, somebody who is coachable. Number five, disciplined. Okay, when you're starting to work in a new position, you have to learn all the new information, the new software, the clients, the products, the services, all those things, just like you have to learn new plays, and especially when you go to a new team, new culture, all those kinds of things. CFL players are known to be disciplined in terms of diet, in terms of exercise, in terms of sleep, in terms of execution, and bringing their A game. Excuses are not things that come to your mouth very easily. We get the job done. So employers recognize that. Number seven, team player, and I mentioned this before. It's worth mentioning again too, that you understand that you are not the star of the team, that there is a team around you and that you all work together. You get along well with people, and whether that's working with clients and talking to prospective customers and trying to solve their solution as part of a team, or if that's supporting somebody in the workplace so that you have to work with and you look to help them out. That's something too that is quite sought after by employers. Can you see how long this list is? I feel like it's getting longer than when I started putting this together. I said there's 4 or 5 things that are always coming out, but when I went through and reviewed the notes of the employers I've talked to, these other things have come out. And the other one too is that this is not your first rodeo. You have been, in the trenches before. You've got grit. You've been knocked around. You've been knocked out. You've come up against some pretty tough circumstances and you've pushed through. These are things that a lot of folks who have not been a professional athlete don't have in their backpack. So when a deal gets tough, when things get tough in a work environment, you don't automatically call it quits. You stick in there. So what has this been? Now, 7 or 8 minutes? And all these things that employers want that you have. So as you go through the season, and as you think about work that might happen, as the season ending, so January into next May, and you're thinking about applying for a position, make sure that your resume has these things that are listed here and that you emphasize them. You may not have them in a master's degree course load or a bachelor's degree course load, but you've got them in the street smart sense. Self-starter, will to win, hardworking, leadership, coachable, disciplined, team player, and grit. You have those things. You already have 90% of what an employer wants. So be ambitious when you look for positions. If you haven't got the undergrad degree that they're looking for, but they're saying that they're looking for folks who have seasoned leadership skills, apply for those kinds of things, because you may not be the round peg that they want into their square hole, but you will still find a way to fit in. Okay? So, next steps for you as you've listened to this, listen to it again if you're ever getting down on yourself. I have never had a challenge finding work for CFL players who put together a decent resume and find something that matches up with their skill set. So, get your resume updated, and you can do that with Jason and my help. All you have to do is contact us. We're happy to help put it together for you. And then check us out for various job connections. As I mentioned before, we've got PepsiCo, Frito-Lay. We're building on the RCMP. We've got TD Bank. We've got several others that are on the way, and other ones that are already connected with already, more than I can think of. So if you're wondering what kind of work we have, we just had one of the Bombers reach out to us and say, listen, I'm in Winnipeg. What are some of the opportunities here? Make that email to us. We'll help you out any way we can. And the way you get in touch with us, of course, is the Career Academy at CFLPA.com. So here's the wrap up for it. It's the end of June. Season goes by every year faster and faster, doesn't it? And we never know how much longer we're going to play. A good time to reach out for us is before someone forces you to reach out to us. Happy to have those discussions and chart your career path. Have a great week, guys, and a great long weekend. Cheers.